What's up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, tigerfitness.com. Man, Mark Bell is doing this thing called the sugar diet. And I got to tell you, I love Mark Bell. I love what he does. I love how he's willing to try new diets, try new things. He literally wrote a book called The War on Carbs. And now he's doing something called the sugar diet. So will I be trying the sugar diet? Now, I didn't really care to do a video on this, right? Number one is it could appear that I'm attacking my good friend Mark Bell. That is not the point of this video. I promise you this. I love Mark like a brother, and this is by all means not throwing shade at the man. I love him. You guys know how much I love Mark Bell. But I want to talk about the sugar diet. It's done by this snake diet guy. If I'm not mistaken, and I could be wrong, it's been a while, didn't he do a dry fasting diet where you didn't eat or drink and you were in a constant state of dehydration? Look, I've tried a lot of diets, and I'll explain why I've tried them. Number one is so I can actually speak on them, right? Like, how am I going to speak on a diet just due to science or my interpretation of the data if I've never tried it myself? If you've been following this channel a while, I did the vegan diet, I did the carnivore diet, and let me explain why those are cool. Because with those diets, you can get all of the macronutrients you need. You can get essential amino acids from protein because there are vegan sources of protein like ambrosia planta. You can get that. I was getting a gram of protein per pound. I was good. Not for me. I tried the carnivore diet. Why? Because you could get essential amino acids from protein and you get essential fatty acids from, well, fat. You got butter, you got the animal fat, you got all this stuff. Even with the vegan diet, I'm able to get the essential fats from macadamia nut oil, olive oil, whatever I want to get. So there are three macronutrients: essential amino acids, essential proteins, right? Those are essential. There are essential fatty acids. So the third one is not essential. That is carbohydrate. Carbohydrate is not essential. What does that mean? You could live without carbohydrate. If you do not ingest carbohydrate, your body simply, through a process known as gluconeogenesis, creates glucose from proteins or from amino acids. And if your body is lacking enough amino acids and you have a higher fat ratio, your body actually derives energy from something called ketones. And I've been talking a lot about ketones, the exogenous BHBs. Even though I am not a ketogenic dieter, I think ketones, that's your body's preferred energy source. Your body loves ketones. Thing is, they're not there in the absence of having a low carbohydrate diet. So when there's glucose in the diet, your body doesn't produce ketones. But you can get the best of both worlds by having that dual energy by supplementing the exogenous ketones or BHBs. And you can also get the energy from glucose, which is why I love it. I've never felt better in my life. This week, I've been traveling, averaging 4 hours of sleep a night. Never felt better. I'm doing a lot of cool things. And I'm not recommending doing what I'm doing, but life calls. When you have something, a project at work come up, or you have some big deals going on, look, man, I'd love to say that every night I get 8 hours of sleep. I wake up, I dip my face in Saratoga water, and I rub a banana peel on my face. I'm not doing that. I literally go to bed when I'm done working, which could be anywhere from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. And I usually wake up at 4 because I have stuff to do. And I know you guys are in the same boat because we're all trying to be successful and manage our lives, our family, our businesses. So I understand that. So let me get back to the topic at hand. Why would I never do the sugar diet? Why would anyone, even for a short period of time, I understand fasting. Why would anyone partake in a diet where you are lacking the two essential macronutrients and you are only intaking the non-essential macronutrients? Now, I know there's a little bit of protein. I believe Mark Bell said he's eating a small amount, like 100 grams a day. And I bet he says he's feeling great. He's feeling great. He's got all that glucose floating around. But I'll tell you what, one thing I've learned, processed sugar, it's not poison, right? It's not bad. I'm not one of those guys who's anti-sugar, but I would probably say that we can all agree, probably not a good idea to get all of your carbohydrate from processed crap. Now, I see what he's eating, and I'm not judging. I am judging a little. Gummy bears and candy and sugar and I guess juices. I'm like, what the hell's going on? And that's why I respect him, because he's willing to try even the most absurd shit I've ever seen in my life, because he is a student of the game. Me, I'm not a student of the game. There are limits to me. And the limit is a sugar-only diet. So here's why I'm concerned. Here's my concern, and here's why I'm doing this video. This week, I had over 20 DMs asking my opinion of this diet. And I basically was like, look, dude, I'm not a fan. Do what you want to do. And like the Hodge twins used to say in the early 2010s, it's just advice. Do what the fuck you want to do. That's how the Hodge twins said, and that's what I'm saying now. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you only eat collard greens. I don't care if you only eat runts and nerds and Skittles and Starburst. I don't care. It's you. You do you. Your body, your choice. I don't care. But why would I give up olive oil? Why would I give up macadamia oil, which is super high in omega-7s even? Why would I give up delicious sources of meat with beautiful, you realize I just had another cow delivered, how much meat we go through at my house with 3 kids, my daughter's home from college, people coming over, dinners. Dude, I have the best grass-fed beef in Tennessee in my freezer. Now, you know, grass-fed, higher ratio of omega-3, you got CLA. I understand wanting to get shredded. And I luckily for me, I'm not saying I do anything. So I have really good genetics to be shredded, and I miss a lot of meals. I'm not going to lie. My career is more important than my physique at this point in my life. But if there is one thing I would advise anyone against doing, is a sugar diet. It might be one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard in my life. And I know Mark's getting great results. He's losing weight, losing fat, feels fine, whatever. But I think we need to look at the long-term effects of even an intermittent period of eating straight up BS. I'm not a fan. I'm not going to try it. I'm not doing it. I'm not giving up my essential fats. I'm not giving up my essential amino acids. I'm not doing that even for a little bit. Look. Here's why he's losing weight. It comes down to calories, all right? It comes down to measuring your food. And people don't want to admit it, but if you take someone, put them on a hypocaloric diet, whether it's a ketogenic diet, whether it's a Mediterranean diet, whether it's a paleo diet, whether it's a vegan diet, whether it's a Twinkie diet, if you put them in a hypocaloric state, they're going to lose weight. But the reason we pay attention to macronutrients is so we can lose the right kind of weight and also maintain healthy markers. You want to have that essential fat for hormone production, for skin health, for everything. Like your body builds hormones off of cholesterol. You want to have essential protein. You want to have enough protein. ISSN recommends 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. You want to have that because it's the building blocks of muscle, and protein is essential. And also it helps preventing sarcopenia in the elderly so they don't, lose their muscle, fall, break a hip, and die. You can live without carbohydrate. I've been listening to a lot of Dr. Benjamin Bickman and how the body works, and fuel and ketones and glucose and all this stuff, and Dr. Peter Attia and all these geniuses that give us this great information. And I'm sitting here wondering, with all this great information, a guy with something called the snake diet is popularizing a sugar diet. It's like let's take the dumbest idea possible and let's make it happen. Look, if you're going to eliminate a macronutrient, eliminate carbohydrate. Eliminate carbohydrate because you got all your essentials. I don't want to do that because I really like fiber. But you can still be on a ketogenic diet and get plenty of fiber. You can even eat protein bars like those Nula bars I told you about. 2 grams of net carbs, high in the healthy fiber, the stuff that helps the microbiome in your gut. Why would anyone do the sugar diet? I'm probably going to get hate for this video because everybody loves Mark, and I love Mark. I respect him for trying it. I truly do. But I have limits. I have limits. That diet is my limit. It is what it is. Anyway, guys, I want to know your thoughts. If you want to know, I want Mark to get all the views in the world because I love Mark to death. So to learn more about his journey with the diet, it's at Mark Smellybell, MarkSmellybell on Instagram. I want you to watch his stuff. I really do. And I don't want you going in and hating on him or making mean comments because I really want this conversation. Is it even worth trying this? And if you're losing weight, is it worth it to go on the sugar diet? Again, probably the most absurd thing I've heard in a long time. A long, long time. And I hear absurd shit every single day. But you will pry my protein and fats out of my cold, dead hands. And lucky for me, I'm eating good macronutrients with healthy sources of food where hopefully my hands will not be cold and dead for a very long time. Anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts. Comment down below. 10% off tigerfitness.com, but go tigerfitness.com. Coupon code MAHA, M-A-H-A, MAHA saves you 10%. Comment down below, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell. Shout out to Mark Bell for providing me with this content. I want you guys to have a conversation with him. Maybe I could go on his podcast and we could talk about it. There are direct flights from Nashville to Sacramento on Southwest Airlines now. So Mark, I'd love to come back. Love you to death, brother. Say hi to the crew for me. And again, I'm Marc Lobliner. That's not a game.
Have you ever started a diet and felt even worse? Well, that's normal. Your body's not used to eating the high protein and the adequate fiber because you're eating junk food with a lot of calories. The bottom line is your body needs to get used to it. And the way your body gets used to it is it adapts. Now, what we want to do is help you adapt even quicker so you can live your healthiest life ever. And one way we do that is with a product called Ambrosia Flora. Now, Flora is a probiotic, prebiotic, and digestive enzyme. A lot of products, they just use one of the 3. We use all 3 because we want to make sure that your body has everything it needs to help digest all this wonderful protein. And also, the thing about protein is you need to assimilate it. Your body needs to absorb it. By having Flora, you're able to add these wonderful things into your diet, start your healthy lifestyle, get a gram of protein per pound of body weight, which is what you really need, and start reaping the benefits of living the healthiest life possible. So with your gut in place, feeling good, eating good, looking good, here's to Flora, your new health journey, absorbing all the protein you drink and becoming the healthiest you ever. Cheers to that.